The fight over the Department of Veterans Affairs' decision to offer abortion services to some veterans is heating up on Capitol Hill, with Republicans calling the move illegal and promising they're going to stop it. This stems from earlier this summer when the Supreme Court overturned the Roe v. Wade decision, which had legalized abortion across the nation. Since then, numerous states have stepped in and outlawed abortion. Earlier this month, the Department of Veterans Affairs said they needed to start offering the procedure in certain circumstances, in cases of rape, incest, or when the life or health of a veteran is endangered. And they said they needed to do that because of the lack of access that veterans were seeing because of those new changes in state laws. Republicans said that the Department of Veterans Affairs can't do this, that existing law outlaws them from providing any abortion services, and they're saying it's pretty clear that this is an illegal move by those administrators.
I believe it is a matter of my faith that abortion is wrong. I also believe, as a matter of law, the VA does not have the authority to offer abortions.
Democrats and Veterans Affairs officials say they feel like they have a strong legal basis for this move because they need it to make sure that veterans have access to health care. As a matter of fact, Veterans Affairs officials expect about 1,000 of these kinds of procedures to take place each year, and they say without that, they're not sure where veterans would be able to get any sort of access.
But as a result of the Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe v. Wade, certain states have begun to enforce abortion bans and restrictions that create urgent risks to the lives and health of pregnant veterans and VA beneficiaries. Therefore, VA modified its regulations to expand reproductive health care. When medically necessary, VA will now offer abortion counseling and provide abortions when the life or health of the veteran would be endangered if the pregnancy were carried to term, or when the pregnancy is the result of rape or incest.
This is a big deal because this is the first federal agency that has offered to provide abortion services since that Supreme Court ruling. And the Veterans Administration is huge. The Veterans Health Administration has hospitals all over the country, including a number of hospitals in places where this procedure has been outlawed. So for some veterans, they will be able to go to get abortion services in a state like Texas, which has outlawed the procedure, but get it on federal grounds and avoid those state laws. While lawmakers sort out that abortion fight, they received much better news from Veterans Affairs officials on their suicide prevention efforts. New research just released by the department found the number of veterans lost to suicide in 2020 was the lowest total since 2006. That's about 650 fewer veterans lost to suicide from 2018 to 2020. The suicide rate in the veterans community decreased by almost twice as much as the civilian rate. And for the first time in 14 years, the rate of deaths was less than 17 veterans a day. Now here's the bad news. It's still close to 17 veterans a day, and veterans are dying of suicide at almost twice the rate of their civilian counterparts. This is a major problem for the veterans community, and the issue has been a major focus of clinical work and support programming over the last decade for VA. VA officials said they're cautiously optimistic about the recent progress, but they also acknowledge there's a lot more to be done to save veterans' lives. Along with the latest announcement, VA announced $52 million in new grants to community groups in 43 states to help with suicide prevention, and another $8.5 million in awards as part of their Mission Daybreak Challenge to seek out new solutions to the problem. One surprise announcement from the recent VA news. The start of the coronavirus pandemic in 2020 did not appear to have a major negative impact on veterans' mental health, as many experts had feared. Researchers said they found no evidence the lockdowns and stress of those early pandemic days resulted in more suicide attempts, in part because of existing support services for veterans. Now, officials are hoping to continue to build on those services in coming years and keep pushing down those suicide numbers further. From Military Times, I'm Leo Shane.